Glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever.
Today's parable talks about the royal wedding. It is a picture of joy and triumph that God has prepared for people in His kingdom. Every person is invited. And to each person in the course of their life, God sends His servants to remind them of this invitation. Everything is ready. Come to the feast. We might be wondering, who are these servants? Well, at this moment, it is me, unworthy as I am. Or today, it can be one of you, if not all of you, who in any way can encourage your neighbor to respond to this invitation of God to the feast in the kingdom of heaven. This is nothing new for us. After all, the church has encouraged us to do such a service many times. And yet, if we were to count the number of times we have extended this invitation to other people just in the last week, the result would probably be very embarrassing. And at the same time, when it comes to the earthly goods, we know how to pass them on quickly and efficiently. And this reminded me of the story from Slovakia. It was from my home city, too. There was a certain chef who opened a small restaurant, and he decided that on opening day, every customer will get what they ordered absolutely free. And he didn't expect many customers because it's not a usual thing to go to a restaurant. So he thought that maybe my buddies will come, and that's about it. It wasn't a publicity stunt either. It was supposed to be a surprise for his first customers, for his buddies. But this intention was to provide a couple of friends whom he wanted to surprise. On the opening day of the restaurant, he experienced a huge rush of guests waiting outside for a free meal. And what happened? Friends of the restaurant owner did not keep it to themselves. Each of them called their friends and told them that they could eat there and support his friend, support his business. And so their friends called others. And on the day of the restaurant's opening, almost the whole town knew about to help this chef to support his business. It's easy to support somebody when it comes to a earthly thing. So what we should do to do equally prompt in giving word of great things of God to others, equally as if we would want to support our friends. We must first ask ourselves if we are excited about this invitation of God, if we consider everything else less important in our life. Are we excited? We have to answer ourselves whether we have the will to overcome all of the obstacles that life puts in our way when we are on our way to the banquet. It is not possible to get someone else excited about anything if we ourselves are not excited as much. Asking and answering these questions will confirm our personal acceptance or rejection of this divine invitation. I was listening to one podcast last week, and there was a priest who was sharing his experience with talking to his parishioners after one liturgy. And the priest said that very something interesting. He said that we worry so much about surviving that we forget about living. And when we are in this survival mode, we tend to do only what is necessary because we don't see the value of anything extra. He said that it is the same as the saying goes, you gotta spend money to make money. It's the same thing in our spiritual life, he said, but it starts with us. When we invest ourselves fully, not lukewarmly, but fully, then we will eventually see the fruits of our sacrifices. The invitation is in our hands. We don't have to do some heroic or great deeds, although even those must be done if life calls us to do so. We just have to live our life fully as Christians and living it out every single day. When we do that, everyone can read our life, and they can read that we live not for this world, but we live for something that is much more beautiful, much more valuable. By saying no to the various temptations of the world, we raise the curious questions of our neighbors. Why did he make that question, this decision? Why is he doing this? And that is one way of distributing this invitation, being different, showing different values in a world that is just horrible. Or another possibility for this distribution of God's invitation is our labor in our prayer. And it is always possible to pray for God to make the hearts of our neighbors receptive to this invitation. And when both are connected, miracles can happen. Now we might be saying, I can imagine an easier way for my life. That's true. But is it better and wiser to sacrifice paradise for few comfortable days here on earth? Many are eager to attend the royal wedding. However, we are all invited to the wedding arranged by the King of Kings. May it be our desire to bring as many of our friends to this feast as possible. Glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever.